Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss some of the most frequently asked SOQL interview question scenarios. So basically, I am not going to discuss one or two scenarios like which were asked to me in those interviews, but the pattern in which these are asked. Okay, so let's begin. So, for example, duplicate scenario as questions are being repeated. Okay. Then we also have this limit and offset kind of questions. Then there are few questions that I have encountered in some of my interviews, which were related to the semi-join and the anti-joins. Okay. Then also there comes some interviewers are really interested in getting to know about how well we can explain the date literals, the child to parent, and the parent to child. Okay, so these are some of the patterns that I have observed, and we are going to discuss them today. The first scenario that we are going to discuss is related to the duplicate ones. Okay, so at times the interviewer may ask you to write a SOQL query to get all the duplicate account based on the name field. Okay, so we are going to write the query now. Select, we will have the name field, then we will write the count of ID from account, and we will group it by the name field, count of ID greater than 1. So this query will get us all the accounts where the name is repeated, like we have multiple records with the same name. Okay, then they may also ask you to write the SOQL query and to find the duplicate emails or the phone number. So basically, the skeleton will remain same. Okay, but instead of the name, we will use the email this time, and rest everything will be same. And one more thing that we need to keep in mind is we will also check the email is not null, because in case if it is blank, then we don't want our query to fetch those records. So you may try to run this query in your Salesforce org and check the result. Then the second type which we are going to discuss is the alphabetical ones, which are basically nothing but the limit and the offset that we use. Okay, so there are chances that, say for example, in our Salesforce org there are 100 records. Okay, but the interviewer may ask you to write the SOQL query to get the 11th record and the records after that. So in that case, we will write, say, select ID, then we'll have the name field, and or any other field which they may ask you to write from account. Let's order by name, sending, and we will just say put the limit as 10 and offset will be 10. So here basically this offset keyword is telling the Salesforce org that we want only those records which are not there in the first 10 records. So basically the first 10 records are being skipped when we write this offset. Okay, or else they may also ask you to write to get the second record only. Okay, like there might be again say 50 records in the org, but they are interested to get only the second record and not the other one. So similarly we will write count order by name, and we will do it ascending, say limit 1, the offset will be 1. Okay, now this is a challenge for you. Okay, you try to write the SOQL query to get records 21 to 30. Okay, so you can try it yourself. Now we are going to discuss the third scenario, which is anti-join. Okay, so then they may ask you to write a SOQL query to get all the accounts which do not have any opportunities. Okay, so in that case, we have to use the anti-join SOQL queries, which is something like this: from account where ID not in, and then we will write the second part, account ID from opportunity. So here what we are doing is we are telling the Salesforce org or the sales system that get me all the account with the ID, basically the account ID. This account ID and the ID are same, okay, is not on the opportunity. All right, or else they may also ask you to write, say, to get me a user without a task assigned to them. So similarly, we will write ID name from user where ID not in, and then D from task. Okay, now the third one, again, this is for you to write. Just try to write the SOQL query, and in case if you face any difficulties, then do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist. Now, the next one that we are going to discuss is the semi-join SOQL scenario-based question. So they may ask you to retrieve all the contact whose accounts have at least one open case. Okay, so this might sound like a very big query, which we might have to write. But again, if you read the question again, you will understand that it is not something which is very difficult. Okay, so basically we have to retrieve all contact whose account. So we have written the query for the contact and whose account. So where account ID in have at least one open case. Okay, so here we will write the other part. Select account ID from case where status, can check like status is not equals to closed, right? Then they may also ask you to write like, say, something like show all accounts that have at least one opportunity with stage name as closed one. Okay, so even for this one we can write it, say select ID uh, name from account where ID in, select account ID from opportunity where stage name is equals to closed one. All right, so we have written the query to get show all the accounts that have at least one opportunity with stage name as closed one. All right, so the next one that we are going to discuss is the date literals. So sometimes they may ask you to write a SOQL query like to find the opportunity which will be closing this month. Okay, so this at times people get confused. Even when I started, I used to get uh, confused with this kind of scenario. But as we practice more and more and we try to understand that what we need to do, then we become expert. So what we have, sorry, what I have done is, okay, we need to remove this. Okay. So select ID name close date from opportunity where close date, okay, should be this month. So here we can write this underscore month and this will help us. Okay. Now the next one is opportunity created in the last 90 days. Okay. So okay, let's say name, created date. Okay. From opportunity where created date equals to last and it should be 90, right? Yeah. So you can try to write a SOQL query. This is a challenge for you where the close date is say next month. Okay. Do write and let me know in the comments. Then the next one is a child to parent. Okay. So they may ask you to write a SOQL query to fetch the contacts with their account name. Okay. So we can write it ID, comma, name, and in this scenario we can write account dot name from contacts. So basically this will get us this account dot name will get us the account name, the account associate the name of the account associated to this particular contact. Okay. The next one could be the get opportunity with owner's name and email ID. Okay. So need to get the owner's name. Opportunity. So now we can directly write this dot operator. We can use this dot and then write the field whichever they want us to retrieve. Okay. Then the last one is the parent to child SOQL query. So they may ask you to write something like fetch account with all the related opportunities. Okay. So the query goes something like this. Say from here we will write say ID name, comma, and then here we will write the fields from the opportunity, okay, which we need to retrieve stage name from opportunities. Yeah. So we know that when we are writing parent to child, in that case, here we have to use the plural value. If it is contact, we have to use contacts with a S, and in case of opportunity, we have to write opportunities. Okay, from count. So this will get us. So I would like to give you a hands-on. Can you write a SOQL query to fetch all the accounts along with their associated contacts? Okay, so this is challenge for you. So guys, I can tell you for sure if you master these scenarios which we just discussed right now, basically these seven, okay, so more or less at least 60 to 70% of the SOQL queries which is being asked in the interviews, So you can answer those. Okay. So try to practice these scenarios, and any other scenarios if you want, you can let me know. I'll more than happy to share it with you. So that's it from my side. And in case if you find my work helpful, so please feel free to share and subscribe to the channel. So it will definitely motivate me to keep continue the work that I have started. So that's it from my side. Thank you.